Holy God, we give you thanks for this day in which we can come together in this holy place to worship you and to be shaped and formed by what we hear and through the sacrament that we will receive. Bless this time that we have together. We thank you for the food that has been prepared, that we have and will eat. Bless it to our body's nourishment, we pray. Thank you for Father Clive Samson and for his work in ministry in our diocese and for the opportunity that we have to listen to and engage with him today. And all of this we pray in the name of your Son, Jesus. Amen. Amen. Well, good morning. It's so good to see all of you. Thank you for being part of this. I have the privilege of maybe for some of you reintroducing a priest, Clive Samson, who has been with us before in a different role. He was formerly a chaplain with the ECM, Episcopal. Thank you. Just drawing a blank. Episcopal City Mission, which is the ministry that is devoted to providing chaplains to young people who are incarcerated. But the reason that I invited Clive to come back and be with us today is because of his role in the Diocese of Missouri as the priest and pastor of the Faith Christian Church of India. So I just wanted, before he says some things, I want to read to you something that comes from our diocesan website, which is called Get to Know Faith Christian Church of India. Faith Christian Church of India is a mission church of the Episcopal Diocese of Missouri. The Reverend Clive Samson and the Reverend Susanna Raj founded the mission in August of 2017. This incredibly diverse congregation has its roots in the Church of South India, which is a combination of many Christian denominations, including Anglican. Faith Christian Church of India prides itself on being interdenominational and multilingual. Their members come not just from India, but also from Sri Lanka, Pakistan, Uzbekistan, and other countries. English and Tamil are the primary languages used in worship, but you'll also hear readings, prayers, and songs in a variety of other languages. Language is not a barrier to worship, says Clive. Together as this one big community, FCCI's mission is to be a witness to the world through the Spirit and Christ's love. This international faith community regularly worships at St. Luke's Episcopal Church in Baldwin. As a separate congregation, that church has since merged into becoming what's called Hope Church, and you're still at that same facility there. They have a strong music ministry that involves international college students. This is a place, Clive says, where they can come and express their faith in their own language. There will be a lot of noise there. Every Sunday will be a kind of Pentecost in our church. So again, I got to know Clive through his work in ministry with ECM, and he's been here before in the Rector's Forum with some other representatives from that entity. But now he is solely focused on his work as the pastor of Faith Christian Church of India. I wanted him to be able to share some things with you about that work because, as I mentioned at the 8 o'clock service, it is a church that is very different from our church. And so I think it's important for us to be aware of some other things that are going on in our diocese and that we support and that we also have an opportunity to support as those who are working to be Episcopalians and Anglicans in this part of God's kingdom. So it's a privilege to have Clive here. I've got to know Clive some. He is a wonderful, gentle soul who is a very fine priest. So please welcome Clive Samson.
Thank you. Thank you, Father David. Indeed, I came here some time ago representing Episcopal City Mission. I thought now it's time that I give all my time to the church that we have founded. My wife and I founded this in this diocese, Faith Christian Church of India. I'll just put a video, a PPT and a small video, and after that I'll share you for a couple of minutes, and then you can ask questions or whatever you would like to interact with me. This is Church of South India, back in India, Church of South India. This is just to show what we are all about, culture, the way we dress, the food, and the southern part of India, place called Chennai, where we speak Tamil. This is how it is now. This is our anniversary recently. We had. Yeah, okay. I'm sorry. There were two musics were merged together. So one is our song, the other one is a traditional one. Somehow it got together, but it gave the flavor of what we are actually. This is how it will be. Different kind of songs, music, color, food, everything is different. In 2 minutes, I will just let you know what actually, brought this up. Susan, my wife Susanna, now she's a priest she's an associate priest, associate rector at Emmanuel Episcopal Church. So both of us were pastors in India, and we were pastors for 15 years before we came to St. Louis to study. I came here to study my doctoral study. She came here to study master's for our sabbatical. So 15 years we served in an Anglican diocese and an Episcopal church. So that church I showed you, that group of pastors. So I'm from Church of South India, which comes under one of the churches in the Anglican Communion. So all the Episcopal Church comes under the Anglican Communion. So worldwide, there are so many churches that are under the Anglican Communion, under the Archbishop of Canterbury, Church of England. So we are partners with the Anglican Communion. That is our connection with the Episcopal Church. So Church of South India is a merged churches. We had Anglican, Presbyterian, Episcopal, London Methodist, LCM, SPK, so many mission groups in India, churches, RCA, Reformed Church of America. All these churches came together in 1947 to become an ecumenical church. So that is how the Church of South India came into existence. So all this denomination came together as one church, one body, Church of South India. So in Church of South India, every church you go, you will find a different tradition. You go to one church, they'll be following kind of Methodist. If you go to another church, they'll be following an Episcopal. If you go to some other church, they'll be following an Anglican tradition, very Anglican tradition. So Susan and I, from a very Anglican and Episcopal tradition. So we served for 15 years and we came here. And when we were studying, we found so many people coming from Church of South India, Indian Christian community coming here. So they meet in different houses. So Susan and I have helped them in various ways for them. And finally, it is the Advent Episcopal Church in Crestwood. They gave shelter for us. We started with 2 people as a Bible study. So every month we call it as Edge, and we started that as a Bible study. And one of the services, Bishop Wayne Smith, then Bishop, came for that confirmation. My son was confirmed in Advent Episcopal Church. So when he came, he saw our group, people, and he was excited about it. He said, come to the office. Same time, my bishop from India came, and they met together, and they said, why don't you do something? Why don't you do some ministry here as we see people here? And we were also interested in doing that, and that is how it started in Advent Episcopal Church as 2 people. And so we started as a small group, 2 people or 3 people in 2017. And in 2018, we started as a group. We had no name, we had no place, no money. So a lot of people think to start a mission, we need all these things. But we started without anything. I was working as a chaplain in a Christian hospital in Florissant near Hazelwood. So that's where I used to come, and one evening we used to have worship. Then Bishop Wayne Smith asked us to move to St. Luke's because we were asking for a place we are close to Indian community, international community. So we moved to St. Luke's in 2018. And 2019, we got the name Church, Faith Christian Church of India, that came from the community. They wanted to have that name. And then the 2019, the diocese has accepted us and embraced us, observed us as one of the mission churches and a church in the Episcopal Diocese of Missouri. So 2019, officially we became the church in the diocese. So that is how it came. And we started with one Sunday evening every month, 4 o'clock. And then we, on a Lenten season, we moved to 2 Sundays evening. And then after pandemic, we thought the connection is not there. We lost so many people because I go to their houses, birthdays so frequently that was lost. So I thought it is difficult to do after pandemic. So every Sunday we started our worship. And also I wanted our people to have a main focus on this church. And we have worship services now all Sundays, 12 noon. So we don't want our people to stop our people going to American churches. We tell them go, but after that you come here. So that is how we meet at 12:15 at St. Luke's Episcopal Church, then St. Luke's Episcopal Church. And now that building was given to us, and they have moved to Good Shepherd Church, and they merged with Good Shepherd and become a Hope Episcopal Church. So now we are there, we are growing, and we have a lot of challenges. The diocese fully support me as a pastor. I do little bit of, it is actually part-time, but I give all my time for that. So the church with other support and people, individuals and churches and other fund, we run the programs. So let me stop with that. If you have any questions or anything in particular, you can ask me. And we are Pentecost in the sense our worship will be, it's not chaotic, but we accommodate all kind of tradition, languages, songs. You will sometimes find dance, sometimes fast songs, sometimes mix how you heard this song. You will have different people speaking different language. At home, we don't speak the same language. Susanna speaks different language, I speak different language. And when we married, I didn't know her language, and she didn't know my language. So after marriage, we learned each other's language. My son speaks both the languages, even now. So India was divided on the basis of languages. States are languages, different color, different traditions. So I'll stop there.
Well, we've got plenty of time, Clive, so I want to ask you a few things, and then we'll give everybody else a chance to engage with you. I was taking some notes while your presentation was going on. Would you say a little bit more about the different groups of people that you have?
Okay. When you see, we are all Indian Christians, but we have different languages speaking. We have Tamil speaking major language. I speak Tamil, and my wife speaks Telugu. So we have Telugu families, and we have Malayalam speaking. You will find a lot of Indian doctors here who will come from that community. So each community has a different profession. So Malayalam families are there. Hindi speaking people are here. 2 or 3 families are Hindi speaking from northern part of India. We are from southern part of India. They are from northern part of India. Northern part of India, major language is Hindi. Southern part of India, Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, and Kannada. So we have Kannada families, 2 Kannada families, and we have students from Aruba. We have students from Uzbekistan. We have students from Sri Lanka, and other than that, yeah, Gujaratis we have, Punjabis we have. Yeah, these are the different kind of Marathis we have. Yeah. Yes, these are the mixed group. So many languages, denomination also.
How many Indians, native, how many people are there in this area that have you been able to determine how many are native to India or have a connection to that country?
Indians, southern Indians and northern Indians both together, we have a considerable number of people here, but 99% are Hindus. So probably 1% Christians. That is always that's the way the people come. So we have a caste system. So you know the caste system, the dominant group, and that has subgroup, and the weak group subgroups. So America is a home for dominant group. You'll find doctors, engineers, all these are from the dominant group. So they are all Hindus, major group is Hindus. Christians, almost 99% are from this category, the lower categories, the working class. So you will find some engineers and some other laborers or other people from this kind of group. So Christians probably will have about 1,000 or 2,000 people or maybe more than that.
So I'm actually in awe of the fact that you encourage people to go to what I think you refer to as American churches and then come to your church at noon. Most of us are just trying to get people to church once a day. That's great. How does that work?
This one we make it unique. That is why we want our family. They were children. We don't want them to be out of context. Because they are growing in American context, we want them to have that always, spiritually also. They should belong to a church and do it. But this church is a home for their culture, tradition, express in their own languages. We teach them music. We teach them languages. We have Tamil schools, Telugu schools. In our Saturdays it happened. So I have a group coming and teaching them their own languages so they don't forget. So we make it unique for our own tradition. So they feel home here, but they should also belong to wherever they are. But we are encouraging them to go to the right church. America has plenty of churches, but we are slowly making them to get into Anglican Episcopal Church. We are from a very conventional kind of group of people, so it takes a little time for them, but we encourage them to do that.
You mentioned, or one of your slides in the presentation was about prayer meetings, house prayer meetings that you have. Say a little bit about those?
Every month we have one prayer meeting, one of the houses we meet. Each one has some kind of something coming up. If birthdays are coming up, if wedding anniversaries, if somebody has died, mostly we pick someone who has died as a memorial meeting. So people who have lost their someone dear one, so we fix that day. But every second Friday we meet in one of the houses. So we keep it open. Whoever wants to host it, they can host it. But it happens regularly. So we go at least 10 to 15 people. At least 10 to 15 people will be there. The neighborhood. If some family is meeting in Kirkwood, so people around Kirkwood will join. If O'Fallon people will join. But as pastors, we'll be there. Some of the students will be always. So every month, second Friday, we meet together.
You also referenced having a ministry to the homeless.
Oh, yeah. So every month we go and visit the homeless because most of our families are not really, financially down. Most of them are, when we compare to India, they live a good life here, most of them. So I don't want the kids to forget, the other side of the story, other side of the city. So I want them to come with me and see the other side of story, to learn, participate, which I was doing in India. I take the people, use all the profit for the people outside the church. The profit cannot be kept in our church. That I am very particular. Any profit comes to the church cannot be accumulated in the church. That is the tradition I come from. So anything that we have it, we go and give it to people. So we actively involve in the homeless ministry too.
And where do you
We
serve-
go to
where
the
do you serve your efforts?
Cathedral Church, where Christ Church. So we go there, we park our cars, and we pack. Homeless people like McDonald's very much. You know, the sandwiches, hot one. So I make people to call the McDonald's and the Tuckers. So they all come at least half hour before order the sandwiches, and we go around and give it to people around there. Christchurch, I don't know how many of you see, a lot of people sit there and sleep there around the Christchurch, and also the park is there, and a little further near the McDonald's, there is a big group of homeless people on the streets, and also there is a home, and I think somebody is running the home. If we have more, in winter season, we see more people lined outside the home, and we give them sandwiches when they are standing on the lines. Sometimes we take 150 sandwiches, enough, not enough. Then we run back and we disturb them, get more sandwiches and give it to them. So they like hot sandwiches. So we go to the streets and give. If we have plenty, we go, we know where are the shelters, and we go and give it to them.
So some of you may know this, but in our tradition, the Episcopal Church, a mission is defined as being a church that is financially dependent in some way upon resources from the diocese. So you described what you all are as a mission of the Episcopal Diocese of Missouri. Do you feel like are you working toward being able to become a parish at some point and to be able to be financially
At this point,
independent?
that's because our congregation somewhere linked to different churches. So that commitment has, they have, that is the tricky part of it. They're associated with some American churches, and they are associated with churches in India, back in India. So they have to give money to all those congregations. And what we get is not enough, actually. Our Indians, missionaries who came to India have got into this bad practice of receiving only. Giving is, I'm teaching them. That's why this homeless ministry, different ministry, they don't know how to give. So slowly I'm trying to do it. But because of the floating congregation, because we lose families very often, I train them, make them to come in 2 years, then I lose them. So, but some point of time, I've given so many plans to the bishop, I've given so many strategies to the diocese. If they say yes, we will become a parish and we'll become sustainable one.
Wonderful. Your questions?
I have two questions. My first one was, we as a church give money to the diocese. We don't really know exactly what happens to the money, but it's part of what we do. So when you are out feeding the homeless, I'm trying to figure out who's going to compensate for all those McDonald's purchases, and does the diocese provide that for you? Because that really helps me understand what happens to our money. And the other question is, are you located I wasn't sure about where St. Luke's Church and Good Shepherd, I just want to know where the location is.
Now, first I'll address the St. Luke's. St. Luke's is in Baldwin. Our Indian community is scattered in Baldwin, Chesterfield, Maryland Heights, and O'Fallon, and Creve Coeur also. St. Luke's was in Baldwin. They moved to Clayton. So Good Shepherd is in Clayton. Not that far. It may take about 15 minutes from Baldwin to Clayton. So it is close to 64 highway.
Okay, Good Shepherd's off of Mason Road. Yes.
Yeah, Mason Road, yes.
The two merged.
Oh, okay.
St. Luke's and Good Shepherd merged, and as Clive mentioned a moment ago, have now become Hope Episcopal Church.
I understand.
Actually, I asked for Good Shepherd Church because it's close to highway. I always wanted a church that is visible and close to the highway. But I think for some particular reason they said no and gave St. Luke's. So money-wise, my financial thing is taken care by the diocese. So some of my financial things I've taken. That's why I used to work in ECM also to get more money. I also go to different churches to preach before when we had worship services in the evenings. So morning I used to help. I've been in Emmanuel Church for 1 year. I helped when Jenny left in 2-3 weeks. So I was posted there to help that period. I was there with I was with Emmanuel. Once things were all right, I think Valerie and my wife Susanna took over. So my salary is taken care by the diocese. But for all mission things, we have to raise fund. So I will tell the families, whoever is coming, they have to buy like 25 sandwiches or 50 sandwiches. So I make them to order and come. And we give sandwich, we give one fruit and one juice and water bottle. So this is the 4 things each one has to get.
Other questions?
Father, could you talk a little bit about the relationship between the Hindus and the Christians? Even here locally, is there an integrated community, and then back home as well, how they interact?
Thank you so much. Yeah, you reminded, I think I missed out, I should have said that. Thank you for reminding it. In India, it is very hard to get together as Hindus and Christians. There is a clear-cut division. Indian Hindu Christians are totally different from Indian Christians. So they are totally different. So Hindu Christians and Indian Christians are different. They don't come together in India because of the church doesn't allow, and people also from a very conventional background. Anything you do Hindu is a sin. Anything you do Hindu thing or being in the temple is something that you are against God. But here it gives me opportunity to bring people together. I'm sorry, I have 2 Hindu families here. They come regularly. Uzbekistan girl is a Muslim girl and she got baptized and I only did the wedding. And recently there are 2 girls who joined. One is a Walmart manager, the other one is working for TCS. And those 2 girls are Hindus who came baptized. But other than that, we have connection with the Hindu group, temple, and all secular programs, small program, all not a religious programs. Now we are merged together. We have a strong connection. I encourage my people to participate actively, culturally, and they also come forward to join us. Now we are very closely connected. So any programs Hindus comes to us, any Hindus program, only I go. So that's the way, but I take few people, so we are slowly trying that. And also, we have connection with the Muslims, Indian Muslims also. In India, Muslims and the Christians are together. Hindus are different. But here it gives opportunity for to be together. Yes.
I work in IT computers, and I was surprised to learn that California had passed an anti-discrimination law for Indian castes, such as I know one of the highest castes is Brahmin, but I'm not sure which castes the Indian IT companies were not accepting Indian IT people of a different caste, and it really shocked me that in 2020 era that those inherent flaws in human discrimination would still be active and present. Is there here in St. Louis, do Hindis or Indian companies discriminate against other Indians?
Yeah, that's a very good question. It takes a long time to answer also. You know, the division, caste is there. Rightly you said, in California, everywhere. As I told you, the dominant caste, Brahmins, the priestly, in a biblical sense, Levites, biblical context. So they are the dominant group. And that group came for all professions in America because they hold all education, politics, social positions, everything in India. So there is a different group, Brahmins, then there is another group, warriors, then you might have heard about Patels. They do the business. And in St. Louis, I think they are passing an amendment that Patel should not do any business in St. Louis because they are taking over all the business. So the third category is the lowest category, Shudras. They are the IT people. So a lot of people. So Shudras and the outcast. So a lot of Christians are outcast. So Shudras are the fourth category in the dominant group, but still they are laborers, skilled laborers. So that is what is happening. In America, the IT concerns, organization, everything is dominated by the dominant group, one. Strangely, it is one. Even in St. Louis, every Hindu is a Brahmin. So if you take 10,000 people for statistics, 10,000, probably 9,000, 9,500 will be the Brahmins. So the other group is only the very less, probably 5% or 2%, and Christians will be very, very less. So caste, wherever it is, it's not going to be that easy to, go.
That was basically my question. Now that you're in America and people are, living here, let's say 5, 10 years, do they realize the caste system might be holding them back, or will the caste system, you think, be going away in America for people of Indian descent? Because I just, would it not matriculate into the American society and not have caste systems?
No, that will not go, because any Indian go back and marry a girl from his caste and come back. Most of the Indians, you see, they go back and marry a girl from. In India, most of the weddings are marriages are arranged marriages. So the caste system provides that if you have an arranged marriage, people have to go back, they get married, their own girl, and come back with the same caste. So they may be in America, but still casteism is very, very. You have a Indian church, Marthoma Church. You may see a Malayalam church here. They meet in one of the UCC churches. Malayalam, that is a Syrian Orthodox church. So this group are from the converts of Brahmin group, the dominant group. So that church is here, but nobody else, even you cannot become a member of that church. I cannot become a member of that church. So you have to be a Marthomite. You have to marry somebody in that church to become a member of that church. So then think of the Hindus. Even in a Christian community, it's like that. Think of Hindus. They may say we are all right, living together, eating together, but do you marry a girl from that caste? Do you allow somebody to be equal to your post, like CEO or somebody? They don't allow that. Never they allow that.
We're about out of time. I want to just ask you, you may not have an answer for this, but if you don't, we can talk later, but we have been and are continuing to have conversations about how we can reach out beyond ourselves, how we can collaborate, especially with other churches in our diocese. Are there some things that you can think of that might help us to get to know you all better and vice versa, and in some ways that we could work together?
Yeah, sure. One thing is, this mission has helped for other mission to come up. Now you see African connections. Tipe, I was the mentor. I did I don't know whether he says that or not, but I helped in establishing that, providing all my ideas how I did. Now I'm going and being a coach and resource person. Tomorrow I'm going to LA to train somebody in that diocese or a different diocese how to start a mission, what are the ways to start. So here also there are different missions are coming up. So FCCI is trying to help. We are now doing the outreach at Cape Girardeau as well as in Rolla. The recent video that we are putting in the convention, now it is coming up. I didn't give that because first the diocese should do it, so I given that gives a lot of things. So connection wise, you're always welcome to our church or some of the missions that we can have partnership with you in whatever ways that we are very, very open. We have Creek Corps people are here. Some of the programs that we can do here, we are not like restricted to anything. Yeah.
What are some of your traditional food events where we can come in and do?
Now we have different
Food is always a great way for fellowship.
That's right. That's right. Food is something that in Cape Girardeau, the church, Annette, the priest, came to me a few years ago, and she was looking sad. I went and asked her, Annette, are you all right? She's my friend. She said, Clive, nothing is working. There are 200 students in the Cape Girardeau SEMO, but I don't know what to do. Then I said, I will come. Our group will come. And I said, there is one festival I want you to announce in the campus. And we found one person in the campus who can send the email to everyone. So we said a Pongal, Harvest Festival of my tradition. We put it, and we went there, and we had about 70 students come there. So I took all the phone numbers, details, and gave it to the pastor, and I said, continue to have connection with them. Now they are doing a good ministry, and every month I'm sending a family to be with them. Food is the main thing. So we give food, biryanis, different food. I sponsor Holy Festival, and some of the festivals you can host or call people. Now I don't know, Emmanuel Church is launching a big program for the Webster, and last 2 weeks ago they had a program. They had 150 students in their church, and the food was the main thing, and the festival, different festivals are there. Thank you.
Clive, thank you so much for being here today. It's great to have you. Thank you. And we'll look forward to finding some ways to share in ministry with you.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you all for being part of this. God bless you.